Hey community, it's Mickey here, and today we're going to talk about TNA. I'm going to review the episode that I watched last night, and I know it's the WWE community, but I like to talk about other wrestling companies and productions and stuff, and you know, TNA is doing really well right now, and I'm probably enjoying TNA more than the WWE. So, I'm going to talk some about TNA. So, let's have a look. And I did watch this live. I'm just looking at the results here just to remind me all the things that happened. I know most of the things that happened, but just want to see in order they go in. Okay, so we start off with the in-ring promo. Basically, Sting comes out. He says that he is going to fight Aces and Eights. He's the interim GM while Hulk Hogan's out. Um, Also, Kurt Angle comes out and says he's going to fight the Aces and Eights. Austin Aries comes out and says the same. Then Bobby Roode comes out. He says he's not going to join them. He's not going to fight with them. And he says James Storm is behind it, and he calls James Storm a piece of crap. This brings out James Storm. He attacks Roode. Sting lets him fight for a bit, and then he breaks it up. Um, that was a good start promo. I really liked it actually, and it was a really good start to the show. There was some interviews about Chavo Guerrero coming in. Those were a nice touch, I think. They talked to James Storm backstage. Said that he knows James Storm the best and knows that he is behind it, and he then leaves. At this point, I thought Aces and Eights were going to attack him from a corner, but that didn't happen. I thought that would have been nice because I did think at the start of the episode they do have to change the Aces and Eights attacks a little bit just to keep the storyline fresh, and they kind of did. So, we'll get to that later though. Okay, so then we come to the Knockouts match, and I've said this so many times. The Knockouts are so much better than the Divas. So we have Madison Rayne and Gail Kim versus Tara and Mickey James, and people are going to say, well, that's three former divas. They do all this, yeah, but they're much better utilized in TNA than they were in WWE, and they're just much better to get to do better wrestling, longer matches. And this was a pretty long match, and I really enjoyed it actually. The end was a little bit annoying. First of all, it looked a bit awkward when they were doing the leg lock catapult type stuff. They just looked like it was quite slow, and they were trying to figure out what they were doing, and it just took a while to get used to it. It wasn't that bad, and then Gail Kim kind of saved that little bit. I don't like the storyline for Earl Hebner, but you gotta take a little bit. You always know with TNA and even with WWE to an extent, when there's a good storyline, you've got it. Well, not a good storyline, but for example, in this one, when you take a good match, sometimes you do have to take a little bit of a crap storyline with it. And you know what? I was willing to see that little crap ending because it was a good match, and the knockouts did really well in there. These are four of my favourite knockouts. Velvet Sky and Angelina Love have left. To be honest, I'm not too saddened by that. They're good, but they couldn't really wrestle as well. These four girls are probably the best ones there. Also, Sarita and Rosita are pretty good as well. I would like to see them competing in the Knockouts Tag Division though, because they really need to do something with that. They are really dropping that one and the TNA and the TV title as well. You also have Winter and obviously Brute Tessmacher. Brute Tessmacher is the champion, so you can't really say, oh, she wasn't used, but also Winter needs to be used a bit more as well, but I'm sure they'll utilise it and rotate more, and it's going to be a lot easier to rotate when they don't have to work around Velvet and Angelina, who are two people who I think really always needed to be in it. I mean, Velvet wasn't used for a couple months, and then she leaves. She asked for her release, and I don't know if that's the reason she asked for her release, so I'm not going to blame it on that, but it does seem a little bit like, well, if you're going to do that, you don't really deserve anything. We had some more interviews and Chavo Guerrero. We're excited for that. Then we have the what you call it? Then we have the gut check. Sam Shaw versus Douglas Williams. Really happy to see Douglas Williams. It was an okay match. Um, the big bit about this is the crowd are holding 87% sign, so Joey Ryan appears, and he punches Al Snow. Therefore, I mean, it wasn't really too much of a surprise. I think we all really did think this was a work, but we still weren't sure. We thought it might not have been a work, but the fact that he actually punched Al Snow, and then he played off of that in the interview later, and also he posted two on Twitter, that shows obviously this is a work, which I'm happy about. I really can't wait to see this Joey Ryan story progress. It would be cool to see him as part of the Aces and Eights, but I feel if they leave out of that, they got two great storylines. So two great storylines is always better than one. Sam Shaw looked okay. He was quite quick and quite agile. Looked good for the X division. Um, and I'll talk more about him later. They showed a Chavo Guerrero teaser. There was a Bellator fighter in the audience. No idea why. I think they're doing like kind of a promotion with Bellator. By the way, I just want to remind people, Aces Nights. People are trying to guess who that's all going to be about. May I just remind you, King Mo is meant to be part of TNA in a couple months. For a couple, he's going to be in TNA until the end of the year, I believe. So it could be him. No one knows. Chavo comes out wearing a suit. He talks about the Guerrero family. He talks about how he's here in TNA to win. He's here to fight the best wrestlers in the business. I think he took a little bit of a shot at WWE. I didn't mind that. I think he kind of deserves that the way he was treated the last couple of years. Cash and Gunner, Kid Cash and Gunner come out. Happy to see them. I really like Kid Cash. He deserves to be used. Not all the time though. He is a veteran, so you don't need to use him all the time. I think using him in the X division right now would be the wrong decision because the X division is really full. So using him like this is good because he can wrestle outside the X division. He's quite buff. And also Gunner, nice to see him. They need to fit him in a storyline. I thought they were maybe going to put him as part of Aces and Eights, but the fact that he's appearing, I don't think he will be. They start mocking him. They're asking since when is he a legend. Chavo says that he didn't decide he's a legend. The fans do. And then basically, also, Kid Cash asks, "Where's the rest of the Guerrero family?" Blah blah blah. And then, uh, basically, Chavo nailed Cash. Oh yeah, and also Cash. This the reason that Chavo nailed him is because Cash went, "Where is um where Chavo and Mando were?" And he asked if they were too old or just too drunk. So that happened, and then Gunner and Cash start beating the hell out of them. Out comes Hernandez and makes a save. Really cool. It's nice to see, maybe we'll get to see kind of like a tag team of Hernandez and Chavo. I would love to see them in the tag division winning the tag titles because the tag division needs to revamp. I think as soon as you get those titles off of Daniels and Kaz, well, because I would actually prefer that they just end the AJ storyline and keep them with the titles. But if you're going to keep the AJ storyline going, you got to get those titles off at Daniels and Kaz. You got to have you got to make some new tag teams. I suggest putting Magnus and Douglas Williams back together. That would be a really good decision. Robbie E and Robbie T should maybe have a go at it. I would like to maybe see some kind of a tag team in a way that they could use someone like Jeff Hardy, RFD, Mr. Anderson, just put them together for a while because they're not being used as much. I'd like to see a tag team with Crimson possibly. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, it was a good segment. Can't wait to see Chavo some more. Can't wait to see more Fernandez and Kid Cash and Gunner. Um, Kurt Angle is asking Bobby Roode if there's anything to Roode's allegations. Storm gets a bit angry, and then when Angle walks away, he has this kind of a look on his face. And it's a worried look, I think. And then we saw a recap of the AJ Claire storyline, and basically AJ then faces Storm. A really good match here. It's ended with an Aces and Eights attack, but the interesting bit here is the allegations that Storm is part of Aces and Eights. Aces and Eights start only attack AJ and then leave. And then, well, Claire was sitting at ringside. Happy they didn't do too much of that storyline. And then, let's see what else. Sorry, just gonna pause this for a second, guys. Okay, and then, sorry, I'm back, guys. I just had to pause it there and go for my lunch. Yeah, so we had the AJ Storm match. There was attacks, and basically after the match and after the beatdown, one of the interview guys asks Storm why they didn't attack him and if he was part of them. Basically, Storm got really angry. He said if he's going to ask questions and stuff, that he needs to get his facts right, I believe. So Storm, looking really guilty there. Basically, they have Sam Shaw for his gut check. Taz and Bruce Pritchard say yes. Allison says no, so he gets hired. I personally wouldn't have. I feel they're probably hiring too much people. The funny thing is like with all the people they've hired, Joey Ryan, the only one they didn't hire, is probably the best. But obviously he is technically hired, but just the storyline he's not. You know, I don't think he really deserved it that much. But, you know, he's going into OVW anyway, so I guess it doesn't make huge difference. And, let's see, where else are we now? Through the night. Yeah, through the night, basically, Austin Aries had been told by the interim GM Sting to pick one guy to face Team Iron for his X Division title. He takes it down to Sanjay Dutt and Kenny King, and he picks Kenny King because apparently Sanjay's shoulder is not good enough yet. It's a good match from Kenny King and Zimayon. It started off a little bit slow, got really good. Zimayon ends up winning because Kenny King basically is about to hit a move. Zimayon distracts the referee. In comes Bobby Roode, who's meant to have left, and attacks Kenny King, puts him in the ring. Zima hits his springboard backflip and wins the match. After the match, out comes Austin Aries and attacks Roode, and basically, so he attacks Roode. Roode runs away, and it's announced that next week, Aries and Kenny King will face Roode and Ion. Bully Ray is interviewed. He said, and he's about to face Angle. He says he wasn't concerned about his and they were smucks if they attacked him. Okay. Yeah, so Billy Ray Angle bound for Color Series match. It's a good match. As you know, I live in the UK, so it was about almost 3 in the morning here, and I was getting a bit tired, so I actually muted it and I was listening to a Colt Cabana podcast. Just because I don't know, I couldn't be. I wanted to listen to the rest of the podcast, and I couldn't be bothered just like listening to the audio, just like watching Impact. So I wanted to do two things at the same time. So yeah, Kurt Angle ends up winning with the Olympic Slam, getting 7 points. Ace and Eight hit the ring and attack Angle. Ray rolled out of the ring. Now people might say, "Oh, well they didn't attack Ray, so they must be Ray must be part of them." Well, Ray was actually hiding, just like Billy Ray would do. So yeah, no. That's not how it's actually going. Ray just hid, so no, he is not part of them. AJ, Sting, and Austin Aries hit the ring. They start fighting. Out comes Storm, and as soon as they saw him, they jump out of the ring with their hands up and leave. And Angle questions this to Storm, and Storm looks angry, and I really don't understand what's happening. But it's a good storyline. It's keeping me interested. I'm gonna watch next week. I'm more excited for the next Impact than I am for the next Raw. I'm not trying to be a fanboy. I just am. So thanks for watching, guys. This might be cut up to 2 parts because no, it won't. We're just getting up to 12 minutes now. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment on your opinion of Impact, and if you want me to do more of these. And also, just as another little reminder, you can join the community. All you have to do is send us a message, and we will give you the full criteria. You will have to have something for recording your screen, maybe a microphone, etc. So thanks for watching, guys.